Farm Girl here. So come cook with me. I'm gonna make a lasagna and I'm gonna use a roux, or if you wanna call it a bechamel. It's just cheese turned into a cheese sauce. And I'm gonna make a beef lasagna today. So I'm putting on my apron here. I already have my noodles boiling, as you can see, in salt water. I'm gonna make a small lasagna today. It's just me and my daughter. So I just figured, hey, I'd video it. I like lasagna. I like making different recipes. So here, I'm at the sink. I'm gonna give my hands a wash. And then I'm gonna go on there and get a bowl. So here's the bowl that I'll be using. I have a half-used thing of ground beef. I made chili the other day. So I'm just gonna put the ground beef in the bowl. I'm gonna throw away the wrapping. What I want to do here, I want to put some onions in it, some green peppers in it, and some seasonings. So let me grab what I want to use. These will be the cheeses that I'll be using. And it's just cheddar, Parmesan, and I have Gouda, smoked Gouda. So I have an onion that I had already started using, and I have a green pepper. I do like cream cheese in my roux, so I'm gonna kind of like smash this up and let this sit to the side. And it's filled up with cream cheese. Also, I normally make my own sauce, but I did not buy the tomato paste like I normally do. So I'm just going to cut up these onions, and it doesn't matter how I cut my onions up. I just like to put them in here. I am in no way, shape, or form a chef, but I think I'm a cook in my own right. I started cooking at age 13, and I used to make all kinds of dishes. At first, I used to just sit there and help my mom, and after a while, her recipes got ingrained in my brain, and one day she had to go to the hospital and she was going to be gone for a while, and I just started cooking from there. And it's like 9 of us, 9 children. And my older sister, who normally takes on all the cooking duties, she was also at work. So I just started cooking and kept cooking from there. So it was an easy thing. I had already washed this pepper before, but it still had a few seeds in it. So I'm going to go ahead and get that last little bit of seeds out of here, because I only used like a corner of it when I washed it. So I didn't really de-seed it all the way. And this won't cook. These won't cook until I finish the pasta over here. Once that pasta's finished cooking, then I'll take it out and set that to the side and let it cool. But yeah, and I like chunky pieces inside of my ground beef. It's gonna cook down. The onions are gonna cook down. The peppers are gonna cook down. Just give you a little look-see let you see what it looks like. I would like to push the camera back so you can see actually what I'm doing, but my counter is not that big, so I can't get it full range. But yeah, I love cooking. I love making things. I do sew sometimes. And it's not a lost art form, sewing and cooking and stuff like that. I know people saying the young girls are not wanting to do all of this. That's not true. My daughter does it all. Both of my daughters do. And they are in their 30s. But I started them as young girls, just helping out. Because that's all it is, really, for a mother who works. And I did work full time. Sometimes 12, 16-hour days, double shifts. I needed help. So, yeah, I had to train my daughters to help. My husband could cook, too. At the time I was married, he could cook. So here, I just got the peppers, the onions inside. So what I like to use is, I like to use garlic powder. And don't be afraid to season. I like my seasonings. I like to use a little black pepper, not much, because I really don't want it to have like a hot tinge to it from the pepper. Then I like to use onion powder. And this one happened to be a new one, so wait a minute, I have one open. Yeah, I don't like to open something. I already got one open. It's an onion powder, and you can see I use a lot of onion powder because I got a whole another one left, and I got this one. So now this is rosemary. I do like to put rosemary, just a little bit of rosemary in everything that I do. That's Italian. I like rosemary. I like thyme. I like basil. I like sage. I like oregano. So in the pasta sauce, it will have a little bit of this. This is basil. This is basil. In the pasta sauce, it'll have a little bit of all of this. And especially if I use canned, a little bit of parsley. It really doesn't have a flavor, but I just like to put it in there. Here, I love smoked paprika. I love paprika in my ground beef and in my sauce. So that's the reason why I'm not putting those back up, because those will go in my sauce. I was looking for my thyme, but I don't see it. So, and I have two basils, so. Nope, so I have a little bit of Lipton beefy onion soup mix, just to use it up. I'll put that here. I gotta get some more because my daughter will be making meatballs. And then I'll just go ahead and I'll set this in here. Okay. So I'm gonna grab the salt. Now you want it salted. Definitely need this to be salted. And if anybody been cooking for a long time, you know that was about a half a tablespoon of salt that I just shook out. And I just know it because I've been cooking so long. I do everything by eye. So I'm gonna wash my hands again here. This ground beef from under my nails. Clean up a little bit. Okay. I want to check the noodles. They look pretty good, but I want to check them to make sure that they're ready to come out. So these are just little tongs here. Let me. Little tongs I like to use. And if you don't cook these noodles all the way, it's okay, because they will do a little cooking inside the oven. They'll cook a little bit in the oven. So what I'm gonna do at this point is I'm gonna take all the noodles out and I'm gonna set them to the side. Let me grab a bowl. And I only need a small bowl because I don't have a lot of noodles. Like I said, it's only me and my daughter, so I'm making a pretty small lasagna. It's going to be pretty meaty though, because of the fact that I had so much ground beef left. And once I thaw ground beef out, I don't like to refreeze it, so I'll go ahead and use it. And even if I don't fit all of that lasagna inside of the sauce and the meat inside of this dish, what I'll do is I'll keep some of it back for spaghetti night, because it's the same. I do the same thing, and I use the same pot. You almost say, hey, I do one pot meals, but I don't do it in the pot at the same time. And it's so versatile when you have a pot that you can use, and you can do your noodles in and then turn around and do your beef in. And that's why I do it in that order, to give me, so I won't have to go run and wash the pot. Because even as I cook and clean, I don't like to have a sink full of dishes, so I clean as I go along. So that's what you're hearing now. I actually clean out the bowl that I just seasoned the ground beef in. I always tell myself, I say, you do what you normally do, and just get it done. A lot of times I see other people doing recipes, and I want to change up what I normally do, but it doesn't work out for me. So I like to stay how I do things and not change. So here's the Gouda, smoked Gouda. Here's the cheddar, sharp cheddar. Here's another extra white cheddar. And I thought I had Parmesan in here. Yes, I do. Parmesan. And Havarti. Now these are the same cheeses that I also use, and don't forget the cream cheese and cream cheese. These are also the same cheeses I use when I am doing a macaroni and cheese. Let me get something to kind of, I like to use the spatula when I'm doing the ground beef, just to chop it. I've seen everybody with those little neat circular ground beef things. I don't have one. And when I'm doing stuff like this, I don't normally just go out and buy stuff just for a video. If I don't have it, I don't have it. That's the way I do it. So let me see. Because I'm not in my own kitchen, this is my daughter's house. I'm actually looking for her spaghetti sauce. Well, I could cook down some of it. I can't find it, but I thought she had at least one can or jar. Maybe in her refrigerator. Okay, so she got some 5-cheese bertolini. Now I'm not out for mixing. She has some bertolini vodka sauce, which will go well, because sometimes I do put wine in my spaghetti sauce. Love, love, love sun-dried tomatoes inside my lasagna, inside my spaghetti. Awesome. Love this. Love having that. Let me see what else. So here's a used tomato, and this was from a salad. So I'm actually going to put this in the sauce. It's going to be delicious. And some more tomatoes back here. And I am going to cook down the tomato, a whole tomato in this as well. Because I like my sauce a little bit chunky. I like my sauce a little bit chunky. So here, I'm going to make that bechamel. And I'm going to leave part of this cheese because I want to be able to make a macaroni and cheese another time. So I don't need a lot for this because of the fact that, like I said, it's just she and I. Now at the end, at the top of this lasagna, I will shred some cheddar at the top of it. This is the Gouda. This is the Parmesan. I'll also come back and instead of garnishing this with parsley, I'm going to garnish it with basil. Still looks beautiful, still the same. Just basil give it a little flavor. Parsley really doesn't have a lot of flavor to me, so. And this is that white cheddar. And my favorite, the extra sharp cheddar. Love it, love it, love it. So as you can see, that meat, I got it on low. Because when I'm doing other stuff, I don't want to have that bubbling and going. And I have to hurry up. So I cut it down. And here, opening up the cream cheese. I'm going to use about half. So it's 4 ounces of cream cheese. So all of these cheeses will go up, and I will actually go ahead and make the roux. I'm gonna leave the cheddar out because, like I said, I'm gonna shred some of that and put it on top. So I'm gonna find a small saucepan. Because this is such a beautiful ground beef and it does not have a lot of grease, I'm going to keep the grease that's in here. I'm not going to get rid of it. A lot of times I will drain it if it's a poor quality ground beef and it has a bunch of fat. Then I will drain this. But because that has very limited amount of fat in it, and I do like to let some of that flow free inside of my lasagnas and spaghetti. I'm gonna leave it like that. Now, so I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna start this roux over here. turn it way down. And with just a little bit of truffle oil. And I do like mushrooms in my lasagna and spaghetti, but I don't have any. But this truffle oil is delicious. I'm going to use a little bit of this to make the room. Just a little bit. This is a very nice flavored oil. My hand's wet. I couldn't get the top off. So here, just going to give it a little. Okay, and so what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to use milk to make this. After I set the flour, I'm going to get me some warm water, let that water run just a little bit, and I'm going to use warm water to set this off. Let me get the flour. Here. So just a little baking flour. And as you can see here, this is a little truffle oil, just a little. The way you would do butter, the way you do everything. Only thing different I'm doing, because it's only going to be a small lasagna, and this is the warm water I'm going to use. Only thing different I'm doing, when I would make macaroni and cheese, I would actually cut thin pieces of onion down into the oil and let it settle. I would also do black pepper, paprika, garlic powder, onion powder inside of the cheese sauce. But because there's going to be so many flavors in this lasagna, I'm not going to need to do that. So I'm going to take not even really 1/4 cup, a half of just about here. This is almost like a tablespoon and a half. And I'm going to work this into, let's see if I can find her whisk. She has everything though, because like I said, she is a chef. My daughter does cook. She cooks for large amounts of people. So she is actually a chef. So it never fails me when I come to her house. I don't have to buy anything. She got every gadget you can think of in her kitchen. I'm going to turn this up and let this begin to turn and thicken. That's going to be delicious. Especially with that truffle oil. This flour thickens pretty quick. And because cheese has salt already in it, I don't want to add anything to it. Because I did season that ground beef very well. And once you get this going pretty good, if you don't get this ground beef all the way cooked, don't worry about it. Because that's also going to bake inside the lasagna. So I don't like to cook mine till it's bone dry. What I call bone dry. So I'm going to actually shut this off. I see oil, but it's not a significant amount of oil. And this for my cheese sauce, I'm just gonna let you see. See how that is? And what I'll do is I'll just start dropping cheese in here and let that cook around. So all of this cheese, losing not one bit of cheese. So that's gonna cook down. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit more because I don't want the cheese to burn or to stick. I'm gonna stick this whisk inside of this water cup. I'm done with the flour. We're gonna put it back. Here, I'm gonna start cutting the tomatoes inside of the inside of here. Now, I know a lot of people take their seeds out of their tomatoes. I do not. But then I do not have an allergy to seeds. Neither does my daughter. But I did used to cater. So when I did cater, I removed the seeds. Because you never know who has an allergy or whatever. I don't think I'm going to use this whole tomato because it is a lot of tomato. Didn't seem like it would be that much because I'm a tomato-holic. And inside here, I'll add, and this is stuck, so let me grab the rag and pop it. I love sun-dried tomatoes. And it's in its own oil, which is delicious too. But I won't use all of these. And I'm gonna have to pick them up and give them a little cut. Because these are big. I normally buy the jar that has the julienne ones in them. But these are large. I can see that. Very large. And I don't throw away the leftover and the oils from this because it can help with making a smoking spaghetti sauce. The oils that this sun-dried tomato sitting in, I do make pasta salad and I use all of the oils from that. Love it. And it actually makes it totally delicious. Now I'm unsure of where my daughter keeps her where she keep her grater, because I would like to grate that rest of that cheese very fine. I would like to grate it fine. This looks like this cheese is really, see it's smoothing out. And all I do is do this now. When I'm done, this is going to be a smooth cheese. You're going to get all the flavors of that truffle in here as well. And I never cook with a lot of salt, so that's why I'm not adding anything to this cheese sauce. I'm going to cut now I'm going to hit the ground beef up on high. Put that back in the water. I'm going to put this back up. And I'm going to put this back up. She has a little crisper for the tomatoes. I'm also going to go ahead and scrape this jar down and put this I love her little scraper. She got all sizes of scrapers. This one goes into the jar and gets every bit. Because I hate to add water to my stuff. I like to use something to scrape the stuff out instead of adding water at the end of the jar. And it looks like you're not going to get any more of it. But I want all of it. So I use a scraper. And there's some left at the bottom of this jar, but I'm not going to chase it. Not chasing it. Definitely not going to add any water to it to lose thickness to my sauce. Here's another jar. So she has two beautiful pasta sauces that that's going well with this. This one's coming out a little cleaner. And I'm actually cooking this because we're gonna go for our walk. And when we get back from those walks, we be starving. Literally starving. So, I'm gonna do this ahead of time. I wonder if she has something ceramic that I can put this in. This looks delicious. I'm gonna have to give this a little taste just for seasoning's sake, because sometimes jar pastas don't do it for me. So let me see. Let me get a little spoon out of here, and let me get the corner, just a corner like this, just a little taste. Excellent. Don't need nothing. Now, normally what I would do, I would add a little sugar if there was plain. But these guys who made this sauce really did a great job. There is no need to add anything. I think I'm gonna try to get the rest of this little bit of sauce out, because that is a very delicious sauce. So I'm gonna use this. Let me see if it fits. Nope, no fit. Let me see if she got the pencil one. But she, like I said, she has everything, because she's actually a chef. Yep, this is the pencil one. And I'm gonna take out, and that right there gives me just that little edge of the rest of what I wanted out this jar. Like I said, I don't like to add water to nothing. Even when I cook my meat, I don't add water. I let my meat make its own juices. So I do the method that my mom taught me to do when I was coming up. I would use aluminum foil, wrap the meat up in aluminum foil, and put it in a roaster pan and put water around the outside. And all the juices that come from the meat are actually cooking the meat. Inside is on fat and inside is on juices. And so that's the way I was brought up cooking, so that I wouldn't lose any flavor. Oh, I'm gonna need this. Now I gotta see if I can find her shredder. Let me see. Okay. I don't really know where she keeps everything, and she's actually Brandy. I think she's asleep though. I hate being in other people's houses making noise. But I see it. And I drop it. Let me rinse this. And let me also dry it. I'm in her house making all kinds of noises trying to make this lasagna. But I'm doing it for the both of us. You know, we have to go on our 1 hour walk, which if you look at some of my videos, I started day 1 trail walk when I got here. And we're on day 9. Today is day 9. Trying to lose weight. And also try to cook good meals. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Love the way it looks. Let me stir it a little bit. Very thick. Nothing, I can't stand a runny sauce. What I'm doing here is, because I added those whole tomatoes, because I added the whole tomatoes, I am going to let that sauce cook as if it was cooking from scratch, but not quite as long. I need to find my top to this pan. Maybe it's in her dishwasher. Yes, it is. Gonna cut that cheese sauce all the way off because it's beautiful. It is definitely beautiful. I'm gonna scrape around and make sure that didn't. Beautiful, beautiful. Very saucy, very beautiful. Now that's what I'm talking about. No lumps, no nothing. That is gonna be the roux, or if you want to be fancy, the bechamel that I'm using for this lasagna. Instead of just doing it the old way where they take the shredded cheese and they be putting it all in there. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of this. And my daughter, when she cooked for the people that she cooked for as a chef, she's actually using all of my recipes. Well, not, I won't say all, let's say a lot of my recipes. She also get recipes from her Filipino friends and people when she have to make different dishes, different national dishes. She actually get help from some of them. And then she has this big old Bible, recipe Bible, that I like to look in, where she gave me a beautiful Italian pizza crust that has not failed me yet. So I used to didn't make my own homemade pizza, but now because all I needed was a beautiful crust, which I never could make on my own, and I used her little book. I now make my own pizza dough, so now I make my own pizza, which is fantastic for me because I'm a pizza-holic. I love pizza. So this is about all the cheese I'm gonna need on top. It's a lot. That's still a lot. It's about a quarter. It's about a quarter of a pound of cheese. But I do like my lasagna cheesy. That's one thing I do love. Cheesy lasagna. So I'm gonna wash this up. When I'm actually at her house, I give her a break from cooking most of the time. Now I do like to taste some of her recipes, so maybe if I normally stay here 4 or 5 months. If I'm here like that, I'll cook 3.5 of the month and let her cook about 2 weeks worth. Sometimes not even that. She might do me 1 or 2 dishes, which she's promised me her meatballs, and she's supposed to be juicing for me because I don't make good juices. I gotta admit that when it comes to juicing, I can't make the flavors like she can, but she can come up with some good concoctions that taste good. And I do like juice, and I do like smoothies. So she does a good smoothie, and she makes good juices, which tastes delicious to me. So I'm gonna put the rosemary back up. I'm not gonna need it because all of that is inside. I'm gonna put the black pepper back up, not gonna need it. Now I do love a lot of garlic. And then the basil I'm gonna keep. I'll put a little more of the smoked paprika in here. And that was about a teaspoon. I know y'all say she just over here making up her amount, but not really. I can shake, shake, shake. I did it with my son one time. He was like, Mama, how do you know that the amount of seasoning you put in there was a tablespoon? So I took the tablespoon and I set it to the side. I grabbed some seasoning, put it in my hand, and told him that was a tablespoon. And then I grabbed the tablespoon, scooped it up. Perfect. Tablespoon. So it's kind of like that. You've been doing it for years. It's easy to do. It's not hard to measure. Here I'm pulling the noodles apart because they do stick. Oh my God, they stick. When they're in these bowls, it gets sticky and you cannot get them apart if you let them stick too long. But this noodle has a good quality. And I forgot who I got these by. I think these are Bertolini noodles. Mullers do well too. Mullers do well too, where if they sit, you can pull them apart. But then because I didn't let them get all the way done or mushy, I'm able to get them off each other, which makes it easier to put this together. Okay. Brandy, this ceramic pan, can I put this in the oven? Okay, that's all right. The one I bought you is safe up to 450 degrees. It's okay. So, I was just asking her about her dish, but this was a dish I bought her for her housewarming, and it does state that it's 450 degrees in the oven, Fahrenheit, and 232 Celsius. So I will use this to do the lasagna here for us. I don't grease the bottom of my lasagna pan because what I do, and I'm about to construct this lasagna, so I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to take this and put this to the side. Matter of fact, I'm going to wash this stuff up before I even start. I'll put it away. Like I said, I like to do everything while I'm cooking. I like to clean my stuff. I don't like to have anything left for me to really do after I finish putting everything together. So, I'm going to wash all of this up. And I don't think I missed out on anything as far as what I'm doing. And I'll probably put some of that, cheddar in between too, because it is a lot. These barely touched anything, just rinse those. Okay, so everything's looking better and ready for me to set this up. I'm gonna try to get this camera to come down just a little bit more. Oh well, that's not working. So I'll push it back and see what happens. Push it back. Okay, so I have enough camera space. So here, everything I'm gonna need to make this lasagna. Gonna put this oven on, bake. So I started the oven on bake 380. So what I'm gonna do is, that's the sauce. Now she has a little board. I'm gonna get this cutting board. Let's set this up a little, this over, this here. I'm gonna set this here. There's a little cutting board. This is also has a high heat point. And see how it's not burning that? You can set this right on here. Also, I'll get another one. And that will be for the cheese sauce. I'm going to set this a little bit out of your sight, but it's going to be there because I'm going to have to use it to layer this. So I'm going to start with this spoon, and I'm going to actually take this sauce and I'm going to spread it. And I like to cover all bases, so I might use most of this. This is going to be a beautiful lasagna. I don't have a lot of noodles, so, and with that, I don't need a lot anyway, because I like a little medium carb type thing, even though I like my carbs. So I'm gonna go here with this noodle here. And that's why I cut them in half, because I was really anticipating a small pan. This is a little bit much, so I'm gonna tear this a little bit to get this corner. And there, I don't overlap mine because I really don't care for it to be overlapped. Gonna grab another spoon. What's something that I can spread with? No, I'm not even gonna use a spoon. I'm gonna grab this cheese thing and I'm gonna take a little bit of this sauce. And I'm gonna ladle it in here. Okay, not bad at all. Like just pasting. Just a little bit. You can see. I'm gonna put a little bit of this cheddar inside of this because I think it'll make it just a little more extra. Doing a little extra here, and here just a little bit of basil, just a little bit, like garlic. So a little bit of garlic. Now you won't see us eat this because like I said, we got to go on an hour walk, which is going to be a beautiful walk. But yeah, we're going to walk without eating so that we can tap into our fat stores. Now, sometimes I might be saying it wrong. I don't know if it's my glucosin or to burn and then burn the fat. But it's somewhere along that line. Love the way her spoon holds on to the edge of the pan. Get that little. Here I go. Since that's a long noodle, I'm going to put it in the middle. And I'm only going to make a couple of layers, but it looks like we're going to eat this lasagna for a couple of days because it's turning out to be more than what I thought. And I got more noodles, and I don't waste noodles. So now I'm going to have to figure out. I'm going to layer a little bit. I don't like layering them. I got way more than what I wanted to have left. So I'm going to put some to the side, making sure all the sides are covered. I'm going to go in again with this cream sauce. Yeah. Looks like I'm going to have a nice high boy. What I call a high boy. Yeah. Okay. A little bit of this. But I will let you see when this gets done. And it won't take long because all the ingredients in this is done. So basically, just letting the cheese meld together and allowing all of it to, what's going to be best is when we leave and this is sitting for hours. And I do mean hours because we're going to be gone for a minute. I'm going to pop this into the refrigerator after I cook it. I'm going to let it cool down. We don't leave till 12. Here it is. It's only 10 o'clock. So once this lasagna cools down, then what I will do, and so here is, this will be the last layer of noodles here on top of this meat sauce. Last layer of noodles. And it is working out fine for me. Like it just like this. Last bit of cheese. And this is the cheese sauce. And this is also, this would be more like a blondie cheese. I call it blondie because it's so light, so white. But it does have a white cheddar. It has a extra sharp yellow cheddar. Like I said, it has Gouda, it has Parmesan, and it has cream cheese. So, and I'm gonna spread this blondie out as much as I possibly can. I didn't even know it was gonna make this much. We're gonna have to put up a lot of this lasagna. We're not gonna eat this much lasagna. So we're gonna probably eat off of this two, 3 times. We're gonna eat off this lasagna 2, 3 times. Yeah, this is way too much. And this cheese sticking a little bit because I had to rinse my hands because I like to get stuff off of my hands, not to have it all sticky and crap. And this is the last of this cheese. Beautiful and cheesy. And this is how I also make my macaroni and cheese. But I take the roux, the bechamel, and I actually stir the macaroni noodles into the bechamel, and then I put the cheddar layered in between and on top. Like I said, I love my garlic, so let's go. Go garlic. Here, basil. Instead of parsley, basil. And if you try it, you'll notice the basil gets a little more flavor. I won't even say a kick, just say a little more flavor. And we do have meat sauce left. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in a 380-degree oven. I'm not going to use anything on the bottom because most likely this will not bubble over. Well, you know what? Every time I say that, it bubbles over. Let me get a cookie sheet. Yeah. So, not even a cookie sheet. I'm going to use this pan. And I'm going to set this pan inside this pan. And then I'm going to set that in the oven. So I'm going to give that just a few minutes to melt the cheese. But I like to make lasagnas a day ahead of time, or sometimes 2, 3 days ahead of time, because when it incorporates, when I say, I'm going to watch these dishes. When I say, when it incorporates, I mean, it does make a difference in how long you let that lasagna sit and meld in its flavors. Leftover lasagna, leftover spaghetti, oh man, awesome. Tastes great. I love it leftover more than I love it fresh. Because it seems like it's good, but it's not as good as if you get lasagna. As a matter of fact, one time when I was a kid, wanted some lasagna. I didn't want to wake everybody up. And I knew if I went and asked my mom, could I have some? That time I should have said no. So I stood in the refrigerator, cut a piece of cold lasagna. Back then we didn't have microwaves anyway. I would have had to cut on the oven, which I didn't want to do. I sat there and I was able to eat that day-old lasagna, ice cold. And when I tell you, that was some of the best lasagna, ice cold, I had ever eaten. It was delicious. So that's how I found out letting something sit overnight. Sometimes let the flavors meld and it tastes much better. Now this also doubles as a bowl that we store in. So because I have sauce left, I'm gonna actually store the sauce in this bowl. And if you have guests over or anything, normally if I have extra sauce left like that, I would put it in a serving bowl and sit it in the middle of the table when I'm serving lasagna or spaghetti. And I would let the guests have extra sauce. Just let them know that's the extra sauce. If you know, have too much noodles and not enough sauce, you take that and you put it over your lasagna if you want a little more meat in the sauce. Or you put it over your spaghetti, but my stuff is just so meaty and so saucy that you don't normally need that. But sometimes you got people who just love sauce. You can't measure that. You can't measure that for somebody else, you know. I found that out a long time ago. Like, people put a whole lot of hot sauce on something. You say, ooh, you got a lot of hot sauce. Well, not necessarily for them. They don't have a lot of hot sauce. They have just enough hot sauce for themselves. That's the way they like it. That's the way they're used to it. That's the way they eat it. And it is good for them that way. And the reason why I say that is because I like salad. But I like my salad drenched. So if I'm gonna eat a salad, I want plenty of salad dressing on my salad. Don't give me a salad with a bunch of vegetables and then throw a dollop of dressing on it. I'm not gonna eat it. I like my salad drenched. But now I don't drench them. You know why? Because I don't use lettuce. I found out lettuce took away a lot of flavor from the dressing. And if you like flavor like I do, I eat my salad without lettuce. I use olives, tomatoes. I found out a good cheddar or provolone cheese or Havarti, shredded, bacon bits, smoked turkey, smoked sliced deli turkey, and I use a vinaigrette. Start with a tablespoon of vinaigrette dressing. And along with that vinaigrette dressing, what I do is I like ranch. So in a tablespoon of that ranch. But what kicks it off is that the olives on the tomato and cucumbers, and the cucumbers do need the black pepper and the salt to the cucumbers. And it makes for a great salad. A little black pepper. Matter of fact, I make my own salad dressing, my own oil dressing. And I use olive oil, a little canola oil. I use a heavy apple cider vinegar. And then I put all my seasons. I like basil, I like thyme, rosemary, sage. Preferably ground up so that when you mix it, it'll mix all in. Plenty of garlic, plenty of onion powder. And I just let it sit. And it melds together. And when I say it makes a beautiful, very vinegary though. If you don't like vinegar, you don't want to make this. But very vinegary dressing. And it tastes delicious on top of your salad. And like I said, I leave out the lettuce because the lettuce is still a lot of flavor. Found out I didn't need that much salad dressing if I did not use lettuce. So I do a no lettuce salad. And it's packed with flavor. And I guess some people might say, hey, you're not using lettuce in your salad. What kind of salad is that? It's a good salad. It's a tasty salad. Has a beautiful flavor. So I'm going to see if I can find the top to this and cover it up. I'm sure it's in here. Because like I said, she has some of everything. This might not be it. Nope. One more up. Here we go. Do love to be in the kitchen of a chef because you can get about anything you need in the kitchen of a chef. And the refrigerator is always stocked because she loves to cook. So I can get about anything I need. So let me check on this lasagna. Now it's only been about 5 or 10 minutes. And like I said, we're going out and then when we come back in, all I have to do is warm this up because everything is done inside of the lasagna. So I don't really want to overcook it, but it's looking pretty beautiful. All right. So here we go. This is what we have. And this is a beautiful 3-layered lasagna for my daughter and I. I'll come back and I'll stick this back in the oven and we're gonna have ourselves dinner. Along with this, I'll be making a roasted broccoli and garlic side, and that'll be it. Maybe some toast. Not sure. I really don't want to put that bread with this, but it's also delicious when you do. So this is Farm Girl making her homemade lasagna with a roux, or if you want to call it a bechamel. Farm Girl out. Well, you know what? Before I do that, you know, I don't want to cut it. I was gonna cut it and let you see the inside, but I don't want to cut it because we're gonna put it back in the oven. But so be blessed, be happy, be healthy. Farm Girl out.